Ladies and gentlemen, Disney's next guaranteed failure is Star Wars: The Acolyte. And although you've probably heard that before, today we're going to cover the things that we know so far and everything that's going on with the upcoming show. And this will take the franchise all the way into the Grand High Republic era, but the question is, what mysteries await the Jedi's golden age? The answer to that question is very simple. None. Nothing that we know of, because this show isn't focused on the good guys. But we'll get to that in a moment. Because Star Wars: The Acolyte is set to be one of the most divisive Lucasfilm television projects on record, at least to date anyway. And as the Disney Plus platform is increasingly being used to drive politically charged narratives and myopic thinking in place of good storytelling, The Acolyte will go further back in a timeline that nobody cares about. The live action project is set for sometime in November, supposedly, and the series will once again put the bad guys front and center with the rise of the Sith and the expansion of their powers and power base. It settles within that last days of the High Republic era, about 200 years before The Phantom Menace. And yes, that does seem to be a little bit on the nose here. Very on the nose, in fact. It's the end of a republic. And yes, they are intentionally inserting modern-day politics as confirmed by the creators themselves. Well, buckle up, folks. This is a lot more. Get ready for more Dismal Disney. Here we go! Now, to say that they couldn't have picked a better showrunner to deify pure evil would, well, probably not be accurate. The former personal assistant and enabler to Mr. Me Too himself, Mr. Harvey, Leslie Headland, had to prostrate herself in front of Queen Kathy, begging at a press event to get this job. The casting, writing, and intimacy coordinator should tell you all that you need to know about what this show's going to be. And if it doesn't, or it hasn't so far, without jumping ahead, there's a lot more to come. Believe me, I'm going to break it down. Because we're going to be talking about the bedtime activities they have. These types of elements are in the heart of the very production. Now, without jumping ahead too far, because there is far more to come. There is more than just suggested coding that's going to be in this project, and physical interaction at the heart of its very production in all 8 of its rumored episodes. And again, the creators themselves have been saying this. It's not just me. But let's step back in time for a minute. The Acolyte was announced all the way back in 2020 with a laundry list of other DEI-inspired shows wearing Star Wars as a skin suit. And of course, as every other sociopath serial killer out there knows, this show had to go farther than its predecessors to set itself apart. And it decided to go fully mask off in every way imaginable. This rise of the Sith to power is going to fill center stage, trying in every imaginable way to get you to accept the bad guys once again, because it's okay to be evil incarnate. This is pure projection through and through, from production through performance. And the Acolyte story is pure Disney Star Wars in that way, so it seeks a time outside of the hero's journey that everybody loves, approximately, as I mentioned before, 100 to 200 years before The Phantom Menace. Now, the announcements at Star Wars Celebration 2023 revealed many terrible truths about the Acolyte, and the phrase "Space Wizard Show for Children" is going to be something the shills out there better not ever use again, because this certainly isn't going to be that. Now, with filming wrapped up for this adults-only show, the series found itself once again in negative light due to a lot of things, including legal disputes, the leaks that are out there, and the politics that were forced into it throughout its entire production. Set photos from filming have shown several of the main cast members put on display, and this is really Star Wars in name only, or Swino, as I like to call it. And in this latest version of Swino, they're entirely focused on firsts. Where have you heard that before? And these firsts even include the first live-action portrayal of a Jedi Wookiee, although I don't think that's true. And I assure you that there will be no mystery or thrills in this so-called mystery thriller, as it will be a paint-by-numbers grand slam of identity politics from a 12-year-old girl's fan fiction perspective. In fact, many of the interviews out there that Headland has given on this particular project is indicating she's quite insistent on everybody in her team being ideologically the same. They all had to be following the same dogma. Now, why does this type of nonsense always sound like a cult, I wonder? Of course, going along with the modern political thoughts of the extremists seems the normal thing to do for Disney these days anyway, as they toss aside with wild abandon their family brand and Americana. To what end, you ask? Power. But honestly, they gave that game away too. In fact, they gave it away at that very same Star Wars Celebration event. A very modern political extremist message in plain sight, and at the end of the event, an exclusive trailer with a voiceover saying explicitly, this is about power and who is allowed to use it. That's supposedly spoken by Joni Turner-Smith's character. And what's evil's path to power? Well, according to Headland herself, the series will actually focus on the Sith infiltrating the Jedi. Talk about being too on the nose. This really is taking political and identitarian politics to the next level here. So keep an eye out for more on this because it's coming, including a persistent hint that sets up the new Rey movie all the way back from this era. Is Disney actually setting up another villain that they've somehow made immortal so that their chosen unworthy hero can replace another heroic character's success? Somebody who went through an actual journey. Well, be sure to stay subscribed to the channel if you're not already. About 40% of you aren't, but if you hit the subscribe button, turn on notifications, well, when I'm able to tell that story, I will. And I assure you don't want to miss it. Now, it's time for your thoughts. Is Star Wars headed down the right path by going with more overt adult content, with intimacy coordinators and the like? Is a modern political identitarian Star Wars going to make you excited to watch this? Or is it going to make you less excited? Well, let us know down in the comments section below. And as always, be sure to take care of yourself, take care of others, and until next time, see ya!